Hi friends, today we are going to make a dreamy sweet treat for Valentine's Day. I'm going to make a strawberry cheesecake mousse. Now you can serve this alone with a little whipped cream, or we can add it to a dessert. I might actually put this with a chocolate flourless cake I've made for Valentine's Day, but the jury's still out on that. But let's go ahead and start making this mousse. So friends, I started with a 2-pound container of strawberries already washed, and I've cut about a pound. It's probably about a good pound of them. I've cut up and put them in some organic coconut sugar and let that macerate. And they've been in here. I froze them. I did that a few days ago. Froze them, and then I took them out of the freezer last night. So I'm going to heat those up because we want that for our filling. Or it's not so much a filling. We're going to add that to the strawberry mousse. Thus, we're having strawberry cheesecake mousse. We're going to heat that up a little. I'm going to make a little slurry. I decided to take a few of the nicer strawberries. I might use them for a topping. I think I'm going to take about 8 of them. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see. 7, 8, 9. And I'm trying to get them similar in size, 10. And these extra, I think I might add to my one for the cook. We'll put these fresh ones in with the cheesecake or the filling. We're gonna put these in with the rest of the mousse. So I want to make sure I have enough. So I'm gonna make a slurry with some cornstarch and a little bit of water. Let me get my measuring cups. Heating up those strawberries. And I'm going to take about a cup of water, or not a cup, a half a cup of water, and maybe a couple tablespoons of cornstarch. And let's give that a whisk and make this a nice little slurry for that. Now with the strawberries that I cut up and sat on the counter yesterday, I put, I'm trying to think, about a cup of coconut sugar. I can't remember if I recorded that or not. Pretty sure, no, I don't think I did. So I think I did a good half a cup. I might have even done 3/4 a cup of granulated sugar. So I don't think we need to add any more sweetness to that. Let's get a little spoon. It's pretty good and chunky. Oh, smells great already. Just want to cook that down a little bit before we thicken up, because we want those strawberries to break down. And we could actually put this through a little sieve. So we got a little while till we go to that. Let's go ahead and I'm going to put this on a low simmer for now, like 2 on my stove top. I'm going to whip up our cream cheese. We're going to add a little heavy cream to that. Let's get this in our KitchenAid. I'm using 1 8-ounce. I think it's 8 ounces. Yeah. I'll double check. Yeah. We're using 1 8-ounce package of cream cheese. We're going to whip that up. Then we're going to add our heavy cream and some flavoring. I'm using a little bit of maple syrup for sweetener, and that's not going to really, it's just going to sweeten it up. You won't even know it's probably maple syrup in there because we're just using a little bit. Let me get a close-up of these strawberries. I want that just to really cook down, and then I'm going to put that through a sieve so we get all the seeds out. And then I'll put the liquid back on the stove and add a little bit of our slurry. And it's getting pretty thick already, but it's not quite to the thickness we totally need. So there we go. All right, so let's get this going. It'll probably take a minute or two. Every once in a while, you have to scrape down the sides of the bowl. All right. Not sure I'm going to use 1 cup or 2, but I'm going to start out with 1 cup and see the consistency of that. All right. And we're going to slowly drizzle this in. Let's scrape down the bowl. We got almost all that cream in there. Oh, it is coming out to a nice consistency. And we probably could have for mousse, which I thought of this. A lot of times you fold in the whipped cream, and I forgot about that. So I'm just going to pour this in, and then I'm going to take another cup and just whip the heavy whipped cream. I totally forgot about that. Let's put a little bit of vanilla, probably like a teaspoon. It's really looking like a nice texture right now. All right. See, that's nice and stiff and sturdy. Doesn't need more sweetness. It needs a little more sweetness. It's not quite. It's almost there. I'm going to put another about a tablespoon of maple syrup. Because we love the sweetness of the strawberries too. Just getting that well incorporated. All right. Give a stir to our strawberries. They're nice, breaking down nice. I think I can turn that off. I'm going to put the lid on so it doesn't evaporate. And we'll strain that in a moment. But let's get our whipped cream into the bowl. And then I'm going to just make some straight up whipped cream as we fold that into the mousse. Let's see that the texture of that. And we don't even have to clean out the bowl because we're going to be just whipping cream. All right. I'm going to put some plastic wrap and get that in the fridge. Change in the attachment and let's see how much heavy cream. I didn't realize I opened this container. So let's see. Because I'm going to do more than a cup. Okay, good. I'm going to do 2 cups. I won't use that whole amount. All that whipped cream that I make, but we'll use some for something else. All right, so and we're going to add some sweetness to this also. You could add a little powdered sugar, regular granulated sugar, or the maple syrup. Look, we've been doing maple syrup, so let's keep going with that. 2 tablespoons. You want to whip it, let it do a thing. Don't let it go too long because then you'll have butter, but you want nice peaks out of that, and I'll show you once this is done. We are definitely getting close with this. Let me get you a little closer so you can see. See the peaks there, or the consistency. I think maybe 20 more seconds. Let's see. You know what? I want to add a little vanilla to that. A good tablespoon. think I better stop here. Let's see, is it sweet enough? Mm-hmm. That's good. And you can go by, you know, how sweet you like things. I don't like things overly sweet, but I'm kind of moderate. Some people level of sweetness really varies, right? But we did a good healthy 2 tablespoons of maple syrup in there. So I'm going to keep this. I'm just going to keep this in the bowl and keep it in the fridge so we're ready to mix it all together. So let me know what your favorite Valentine dessert is. Are you go to chocolate covered strawberries? Do you like to mix it up? I did a fun little brunch idea with some red oranges and some pink oranges. I did a nice little fruit platter. And it was fun and festive. I know some people are traditionalists when it comes to Valentine's Day. Gotta have those strawberries. All right, we'll put some plastic wrap, get that in the fridge. Our next step, we are ready to strain out those strawberries. Like I said, we're going to put it through this little sieve so that we don't have a bunch of seeds in there. So you do need something like this to one of these little sieves. You do need that for this. And if you didn't have one, you could just go with the whole mixture in your mousse, but you will have some seeds. Some people don't mind that so much, but a mousse really should be nice and creamy, so. But we can save this pulp to put into another recipe like muffins, or I do have a box of cranberry bread that somebody bought me, and I could throw that in there. So this is the amount of liquid we've got from those strawberries, about 2/3 a cup. I'm going to put that back on the stove, and I'm going to use my spatula to scrape out any of that liquid because we want as much as possible. And I can see some seeds still through there, but it could sieve it again. And I'm not going to put this whole slurry in there because I think that'll be too much. I've got a 1/2 tablespoon measurement. Let's put that in. And let's just go little by little and see how we come up to the thickness we want. So if I wanted a little more liquid, so I'll have to incorporate that and see how that is, if it's going to be flavorful enough. I think we can put a little more of that slurry in. Let's do another half a tablespoon. We're using a cornstarch slurry. I'm going to go for another half a tablespoon. Just trying to get the thickness I'm looking for. You could use some strawberry gelatin also. A lot of people use that like for strawberry fruited pies. It is thickening up a little bit. I don't really need to whisk it all that much. It's almost to where I want it. It's not quite there. But you know, as it cooks a little, it will thicken. I don't want it to be too thick. But I think we're safe to do a little bit more. Yeah, so to the consistency I want. I'm going to put that on a... Actually, I think we're good to turn the heat completely off. It's kind of the texture we're wanting. It will thicken a little bit sitting here. I turn the heat off. I'm going to leave it on here for about 20 or 30 seconds and take it off the heat. I've had this off the heat. I had it on the burner for about 2 minutes, and then 1 minute off the heat completely. And I'm just seeing if, because it bubbled up and I couldn't totally see if it was the consistency. I want it a little thicker, so I'm going to put that heat back on and put some more of my slurry in there. And actually some of it is cornstarch settled to the bottom, so sometimes you gotta give that a good little whisk. I like to do a little at a time, because we do too much, you can't take it away, but you can always add more. Let's do a whole tablespoon. So I think it's pretty much the consistency I'm looking for. And I'm gonna put this in a little bowl, and we're gonna get that all chilled down in the fridge. We have to have it completely cold before we add it to our mousse, our whipped topping, and our cheesecake mousse. Well, we're going to make it more mousse once we add the cheesecake filling to the whipped cream. All right. It's time to put together this, finish up this mousse. So here we have the cream cheese mixture. And here we have the whipped cream, and we're not going to use all that. I'm trying to decide if I want to put the syrup in and then I think I'll put the flavoring in. So this is about how much we had. Remember, it was about I think 2/3 cup of liquid. Of course, it's gelled down. I'm going to add this. And there's lots of ways you can do this. I mean, you can put, say, if you made extra gel, you could put it in, I'll put these in some little parfait glasses. Got these little ones too, but you could put a little bit of the strawberry glaze in the bottom. You could put fresh strawberries, chopped, macerated in a little bit of sugar. Put that in the bottom. But we're going to do, start with, oh, that's right, I wanted to fold that in. And you really could make the gel ahead of time, then when you make the mousse, and then you could add all that in right after you make this cheesecake mousse, cheesecake filling. You can put your gel in if you've already done that and cooled it down. And then add your whipped cream. That's kind of what it's looking like. I'll get a close up for you. So let's see if it's sweet enough. This is the first time trying this out because I've made mousse before, but not strawberry mousse. I've always made chocolate mousse, chocolate mocha mousse. So let's see if this has a strong enough taste. That's pretty good. I think it needs, I wish I had a little bit more gel, so note to self, I put a little more gel in there next time. I do have some that I made, but I was going to use it for my parfaits. But do I want to put it in here to give this a stronger taste? No. I might save that for my parfaits because I wanted a little on the, I wanted to do it a couple ways. This is good enough. But it would be a little bit better if I had another 1/4 cup of the gel. If you're in a pinch, you probably could add a little strawberry jello. I probably don't dare do it now because I don't know that it would, disintegrate enough. I don't want to have the grain. Let's see, I have cherry. I have strawberry in here. I do have, no, I got cherry, and more cherry. Oh, I do have a, well, I have a strawberry peach. I don't want to do that. So that plan won't work. But if you had some strawberry jello, you could always add that to your hot gel. Remember when we were simmering those strawberries so they pull out the flavor, you could have put a little bit of strawberry jello in that. And that would give it a little thicken up too. Alright, that's stirred through. Now we're going to add our whipped cream. Let's do 3/4 a cup. Fold that in. We're going to fold that in gently. You don't want to get a whole lot of air in there as far as like deflating. It's supposed to be more light and fluffy, so I think you can put, so that was 3/4. That's 1 cup. And 1¼ cups. All right, let's get another spoon. Let's try it now with the whipped cream in there. It's light and airy. I feel like it's missing something, but I can't figure it. I think it's just it needs more strawberry flavor. Yeah. So the question is, what do I want to do to fix this? I'm going to put that other gel. Even though I wanted to put that on the bottom. What I could do, well, there's a multitude of things I could do. I could make another batch to put it on the top. Or I could just use fresh strawberries on the top. I think this is going to help. I would put like another 1/4 cup. Oh, it might have been a little bit. I don't know if that was quite a 1/2 cup. It's a little bit between. Maybe it was 1/3 of a cup. I'm just kind of folding that in. I don't care if there's swirls in there. And actually, let me get another spoon. Let's see if I need to put more whipped cream in there. That's a little bit of swirl in there. It's just okay. It's just okay. I want something else and I can't figure out. To figure out. I feel like there's something missing. That was quite a bit of strawberry gel, so that should have solved my problem. It is good. Don't get me wrong. This is really light, creamy, but you know when you have something in your mind of how you want it to be, and it's not quite there. Sometimes you need it to let it sit and meld a little bit, and I'm wondering if that's the case. I've been known to do that. Ooh, I had some chestnuts in my pantry and they went funky. Did not know that happens. Well, they go in the garbage. Oh. All right, so let me see what I have. I might make some gelatin and then add it to it. I might have to do some research. What I'm going to do is wrap this up because it is really tasty. But it's missing something. And maybe it's I need some fresh fruit on the top. I want to decide what I'm going to do. Now I did make my flourless chocolate cake. Maybe with a combination of that, it would be perfect. But I don't know. I got to figure this one out. So stay tuned to see what I come up with. Let's see. We'll cover the whipped cream up. Definitely don't want to put more whipped cream. I think that part is the texture part is where I want it. flavor is missing something. So let me do some research. All right, let's get this in the fridge. I'll be back, darlings. I'll be back. It tastes even better a couple hours or so after. Let's leave a little on the top. We can put either our chocolate covered strawberries or a couple of strawberry slices, maybe a little extra whipped cream. And it makes a cute little dessert. This is perfect for Valentine's Day. This is perfect for a nice light summer dessert for sure. And we'll just clean up those tops. Probably had maybe a better spoon to do this. There we go. One left. So this is easily going to serve 6 people. You could even put just one slice of strawberry on the top. That would look pretty. I need my spatula. Get all this yummy goodness out. See how it look pretty even. This one. No, this one might need a little more. All right. I'll put some plastic wrap. When we're ready to serve them, they'll be ready to go. How cute is that? Yeah, let's give it a little taste. Much better. Like, and refreshing and perfect little dessert.